Week 4 of the high school football season is here, and so is another edition of the Friday Night Blitz. Usually, district championships aren't decided this early in the season, but taking a look at this weekend's schedule, you could easily make that case. On the show, we'll break down 10 different matchups, including several big district openers, plus introduce you to our Player of the Week. But first, as always, we start with our Game of the Week. Our Game of the Week features two of the top programs in the area, third-ranked Steel Knights and the top-ranked Judson Rockets in our Friday Night Blitz power rankings. Steel has dominated this series, but the Rockets did earn their first ever win over the Knights last season. The Knights take over at the 1 and running back to Quavion Thomas tumbles across the end zone. Steel takes a 7-0 lead. However, Judson's Sincere McCormick says not so fast, busts right up the middle 40 yards to tie the game up at 7-all. Judson then gets really lucky on this next play. Check this out, Rockets. With a bad snap, quarterback Mike Chandler picks it up, heaves it downfield, and out of nowhere, Amari Bailey Davis snags it and takes it 74 yards for the score. Judson takes a 13-7 lead. Check who was in the attendance for the game. Oh yeah, Frank Wilson, UTSA head coach, checking out potential road runners. Chandler again with the ball, this time keeps it for himself, races 30 yards to give the Rockets a 27 lead. Shortly after, Sincere McCormick would add another score, a 35-yard touchdown to make it 27-14. Judson races past Steel in our Game of the Week, 58-21 that final. Let's send it over to our Marcus Floyd, who's standing by in Rutledge Stadium with more.
Joined now by the winning coach, Coach Sean McAuliffe. How about that? You guys were 1-7 against this team. You guys came out with a little bit of animosity, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, our kids take a lot of pride in playing against the best of the best. They want to be the best, and, you know, why not open with one of the better programs in the state that's right down the road for us? And, you know, at the beginning of the week, there's not a lot of pep talking that we have to do for them to get ready to play Steel. They know what those guys are capable of doing, and, you know, these kids are on a mission, I think, this year to do big things, and they handled themselves great all week, and they played it. You know, the end result was what we got tonight.
Offensively, you guys came out and kind of really let loose tonight, though, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, it all starts with the offensive coordinator, Coach Williams, Joe Call, our receivers coach, Guy Anderson, Mark Salceda, and Donald Harris. I got a great offensive staff. Those guys, you know, it's funny, they'll sit in there and bicker on Saturdays and Sundays, and they put a plan together that's simple and allows our kids to play fast. And, you know, I'm blessed every single day. I come into work, and those guys still show up to work. So, you know, they got kids believing in our system, and life is good.
Defensively, though, you guys were, I mean, you kind of controlled the ball all the night long, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, like I said, it was just I thought it was a great effort by all our kids. You know, they made a couple plays, which they're going to make. They've got some talented kids, and they're well coached. But overall, you know, I thought we did a pretty decent job, and we settled in the way we needed to. And like I said, I think the sky's the limit for this group if they keep doing what they're doing and stay focused and stay hungry and humble and all that other good stuff.
Big first district victory for the Judson Rockets. On to San Marcos next week. Steel, they didn't quite make it tonight. It wasn't quite the class of the Titans that we hoped for, but again, it was a great game. For Sports2Nite, I'm Marcus Floyd.
We'll check back in with Marcus later in the show, but first, let's head over to Ferris Stadium for another big Friday night matchup. Undefeated O'Connor Panthers hosting the John Jay Mustangs for an important District 28 6A showdown. The Panthers are number 2 in our rankings, but it was the Mustangs, led by Baylor commit quarterback Jacob Zeno, who draws first blood in this one. Not even a minute into the game, Jalen Hastings breaks loose, takes it all the way to the house, 75 yards. Jay up 7-0 early on. Shortly after, though, the Panthers strike back. The ball to Zion Taylor weaves through the defenders, gets to the O'Connor first down, and then some. That would later lead to this. Cornerback David Dodd tosses to Chase Locke for the 33-yard score. Just like that, tied up at 7. A few minutes after, O'Connor has the ball again. Panthers resort to the ground game, and this time it pays off. Taylor takes it up the sideline and does not stop, all the way to the end zone for another Panther touchdown. However, it would be the Jay Mustangs who go on to win this one 31-21 over the Panthers. Heading over now to the worst bowl, one of the best rivalries in Central Texas. Crosstown rivals New Braunfels Unicorns and the Canyon Cougars. The Unicorns have won 14 of the last 18 matchups against Canyon, including the last 4 straight. It's the Cougars, however, who attack first in this one. Quarterback Xavier Perez hands it off to running back Nathan Colbreth, rumbles his way in the house. Cougars take a 7-0 lead. Unicorns then respond. 4 minutes left in the first. Cornerback Trey Johns connects with Zach Ailman in the corner for the score, ties it up 7-7. Then skip to the second. Unicorns again with the ball. Johns airs it out down the field, and wide receiver Ethan Dolben comes up with an incredible catch in the end zone. Unicorns take the lead on that play. They would go on to win this one over the Cougars 33-19. Let's take a look at a couple other big games from Friday night. A big District 14 5A opener between Bernie Champion and Tivy. The Antlers win 30-27 over the Chargers. San Marcos Rattlers fall to the East Central Hornets 31-21. Falls City Beavers win 36-15 over Geneva Eagles. And then the Bears from Livernia edge the Badgers 51-50. Back to the action, a big District 26 6A opener at Lenhoff Stadium. Smithson Valley Rangers taking on the 10th-ranked Clemens Buffaloes. Rangers still looking for that first win of the season after losing the first 2 games by a combined 4 points. Buffaloes took off running right from the start. Quarterback Max Didomincia holds on to the ball, runs towards the sideline, picks up the first down. That would set up this field goal for Clemens, so Buffaloes would eventually take a 6-0 lead, but then skip to the second. Clemens, Didomincia again, this time takes it straight down middle of the field, 75 yards all the way to the house. Rangers would make it a close game, but it would be Clemens who comes out on top in this one, 19-13 that final. Switching over to District 27, Madison Mavericks taking on the Churchill Chargers. Both teams enter 1-2, looking to start district play off on the right foot. Chargers are going to go to punt the ball on this one, but Mavericks, Jamarian Bateman comes right off the edge, blocks the punt. Andre Riley scoops up the ball and takes it to the other end for a touchdown. Madison takes a 7-0 lead. Churchill, however, responds right away. Quarterback Derek Perez throws from the off foot, finds receiver Liam Capo Bianco in the end zone. Just like that, Chargers tie it up 7-7. Mavericks, though, add one more score before the end of the quarter. This time, running back Dante Hagan escapes the defense. There's no one left in his way. Madison takes a 14-7 lead. Madison would go on to win this one 49-17. Now, let's go ahead and check out the Jaguars taking on the Reagan Rattlers. The opening kickoff. Special teams, Jerron Randall takes off running, finally gets brought down at the Reagan 15. That would lead to this. Quarterback Ty Reisner with the quarterback sneak punches it from 4 yards out. Johnson takes a 7-0 lead. Reagan star wide receiver Connor Fox also had a very good game, would finish with a touchdown. That final score, Rattlers win 34-28.
Friday Night Blitz is proudly brought to you by John Wayne Service Company. One call does it all for all your AC, heating, plumbing, or electrical needs. And by your local IHOP restaurants. IHOP is open before and after every game, 24/7.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. Let's continue our high school football roundup and head over to Alamo Stadium for a big District 13 5A matchup. The Brackenridge Eagles hosting the Burbank Bulldogs. Both teams coming off of district wins last week. Not even 1 minute into the game, and Brackenridge running back Edson Ortiz finds a hole, takes off running. 46-yard touchdown for Ortiz. The Eagles take a quick 7-0 lead. Burbank, though, responds right away. Quarterback Julian Basudia throws a dime middle of the field, and receiver Matthew Salazar is there on the other end to greet it. Salazar with a 65-yard score, game tied up at 7-all. Bulldogs would then take the lead thanks to quarterback keeper by Balsudia, make that 27 Burbank. However, the Brackenridge Eagles come back to win it 41-34. Meanwhile, at Edgewood Stadium, District 14 matchup between the Alamo Heights Mules and the Kennedy Rockets. Rockets still looking for that first win of the season, and the Mules weren't going to make it easy. Kennedy with the opening kickoff. Alamo Heights senior Nick Proctor will set the tone right away. Proctor dodges his way through traffic, takes off up the sideline, cuts back towards the middle, and he is gone. 96 yards for the kick return just 20 seconds into the game. Alamo Heights takes a quick 7-0 lead. Then later in the first, Mules quarterback Reed Anderson keeps it for himself, runs all the way to the left edge of the end zone, make that 14-0 Mules. Alamo Heights would get in one more score before the end of the first quarter. This time running back Joseph Marino punches it in from 1 yard out. Alamo Heights destroys the Rockets 41-0. Seguin High School students woke up bright and early Friday morning for a special pep rally that the Friday Night Blitz crew was happy to be a part of. Marcus walks us through the Matadors' win over Central Catholic last week, as well as introduces us to our very first player of the week, Hayden Haas.
Last Thursday, the Seguin Matadors matched up with the Central Catholic Buttons. The hotly contested game was tied at 21 in the fourth quarter, and a special player stood up.
He kind of looked over to me and said, "Give me the football." And we threw him the ball second play, and he takes it 70 yards and really starts that fourth quarter rally going. But that's kind of the guy he is. He really, he steps up when we need to, and he's the guy that we trusted. When things aren't going good, we can give him the ball, and he'll get it going.
So this Friday morning during the school's pep rally, John Wayne's Don Racker and the Sports2Nite crew went out for a big announcement.
And last week we had a very special player. His name is Hayden Haas.
The deciding votes came via an intense social media campaign in which Seguin High School and Hayden Haas came out on top.
It's an honor and a pleasure. These are good kids. He's worked hard. So, we're really happy to give him an award like that. And I tell you, the support from the Seguin community was awesome. They were neck and neck with Bernie Champion, and they came out with the most votes.
That was fun to watch throughout the week and to see the battle go back and forth between Seguin and Bernie Champion. But ultimately, our community, our fans, our students, they got the job done, and so proud of them. And again, proud of the job the team did Friday.
I'm very honored, and I'm very lucky to have the community that I have, because I wouldn't have been able to win if I didn't have all the social media posts on Twitter and Facebook and all the shout outs on all the social media. So I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed to have the community I have.
Hayden had 7 receptions for 132 yards and 2 crucial TDs.
We started off slow, but at halftime we gathered ourselves. We focused on what we could do well, and then we just came out and we were explosive in the second half. We threw the ball downfield and scored 3 touchdowns in under 3 minutes or something like that.
That's why Seguin's Hayden Haas is the John Wayne Service Company's Player of the Week.
Before we go to break, we want to remind you that you can catch the Friday Night Blitz every Saturday afternoon at 4:30 and then again at 11 p.m. Highlights, post-game reaction, and so much more, all squeezed into a half hour. Well, we're only halfway through the Friday Night Blitz. After the break, we take you back to our Game of the Week, plus step away from the gridiron to check out our Spirit School of the Week. Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. We showed you the highlights of Judson's big win over Steele earlier in the show, but now it's time to send it back out to Marcus Floyd, who's standing by with one of the stars from our Game of the Week.
Now I'm joined by running back Sincere McCormick. Sincere, a big game from you guys tonight. You guys were very focused tonight, weren't you?
Yes, sir. We came into the game with a mindset that we was going to do our 111. Pretty much the quote of the day was one love, and that's by Pastor P. We came in here like we don't want to feel the same feeling we felt in the playoffs last year. Pretty much it's just doing our 111. That's pretty much what it is. You guys had only beaten this team one time in the past. I mean, was there a focus on changing that tonight? Yeah, pretty much last year it was a big win because that was the first time in Judson history that we beat Steele, and I didn't really know about it, but hey, it's on the papers now. 2-7, I believe. 2-7. You guys came out and was really strong tonight. On to the next district game against San Marcos. These guys out here are really sincere about this win. For the Blitz, I'm Marcus Floyd with Sincere McCormick.
Love it, Marcus. Thank you so much. Up next for those two teams, Judson will travel to San Marcos next week, while Steele will host 10th-ranked Clemens next Friday. Let's go over now to the Gus for a big District 28-6A matchup. Marshall Rams taking on the Stevens Falcons. Stevens with a bad snap right out of the gates. Not a great start because Marshall is going to recover it. There it is. So Rams are going to try to make something happen on the next drive. Quarterback Matt Leharzar is going to let this one go. Wait for it. Drops back. Surveys the field. Throws it, but it's intercepted by Christian Rodriguez. The Falcons would try to capitalize on the play, but would just get a field goal out of it. Rams win 14-9 over the Falcons. Switching back to 5A District 13 matchup between the Veterans Memorial Patriots, Edison Golden Bears. Patriots defense had a strong first half, attacking early on in this one. Edison quarterback Brian Madison, with nowhere to throw, tries to make a run for it, but he's sacked by Memorial's Dresden receiver. Following an Edison punt, Veterans Memorial quarterback Joseph Richardson, with a quarterback keeper, sprints up the sideline, takes it all the way to the house, 58 yards for the first touchdown of the game. Memorial up 7-0. Then on the Patriots' next possession, Richardson is going to show off a little bit of his arm strength, throws it deep to wide receiver Darius Guess what? 73-yard touchdown. Patriots take a 14-0 lead. They win 37-13 that final. Well, marching bands have always been a vital part of Friday night activities, and the Matadors Marching Band is no different. Seguin students were getting their dance on early Friday morning, which is why they are our Spirit School of the Week, brought to you by John Wayne Service Company. Matadors with tons of school spirit, love it. Coming up next on the Friday Night Blitz, we go in depth with longtime Brackenridge head coach Willie Hall in our Coaches Connection. Plus, we'll close out the show with our top plays of the week and announce next game's game of the week. Stay with us. Friday Night Blitz is back after this.
Friday Night Blitz coverage of high school football is proudly brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. When accidents happen, Thomas J. Henry is available 24/7 nights and weekends when you and your family need help. Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com for more information.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. Brackenridge head coach Willie Hall enters his 24th season with the Eagles, leading the program to the playoffs 9 out of the last 10 years. Marcus caught up with the longtime coach earlier in the week for our Coaches Connection, brought to you by IHOP.
Well, San Antonio, this is a special, special time for me. I get to talk to Coach Willie Hall of the Brackenridge Eagles. And Coach, how many years have you been coaching here at Brackenridge now?
36.
36 years of coaching, and how many as the head coach?
22, 23 years, something like that.
The dean of coaching in San Antonio. I know Coach Gatton has been around a while. You know, Don, he'll say he's been around long, forever and forever.
No.
But the real dean of coaching here, Coach Hall, what is it about football that keeps you coaching and coaching here at Brackenridge?
I love my environment. I love the school, the environment, the people I work with, and the great kids that we have.
Now, speaking of the kids, I mean, the kids have to have changed since you started coaching. These kids now, these millennials are just different. I mean, how have you adapted to these kids?
Kids are kids, you know, but at the end of the day, it goes back to the X's and O's, and it's, if you treat kids with respect, they're going to treat you with respect. So at the end of the day, it's all the same.
These kids, though, have to be pretty special to you for you to stay around here and to keep just being around and being here for them.
Well, I enjoy it. If it wasn't something that I enjoyed and I didn't enjoy the people I work with, I'd move on. But I'm still having fun.
Okay, I'm not trying to run you out, Coach, but I mean, how much longer can Willie Hall stay around here and keep coaching football for these Brackenridge?
Well, I could probably do it for quite some time, but it's about time for me to slow it down and get out. I won't put a number on it because somebody might hold me to it.
Say it ain't so. He's not going anywhere yet, so don't worry. Don't worry. He's not going anywhere yet. I wouldn't know how to act without Coach Willie Hall being at Brackenridge High School. That's such a great story. You've been such a great inspiration. Thank you, Coach, for taking your time. Coach Willie Hall, Marcus Floyd for the Coaches Connection.
We've seen plenty of big highlights this weekend that are worth watching again. Here are our top plays of the week, brought to you by John Wayne Service Company. Tonight's Game of the Week was a good one between Judson and Steele, but could next week's Game of the Week top it? 10th-ranked Clemens Buffaloes taking on the 3rd-ranked Steele Knights for another District 26 6A showdown. We want to thank you for watching the Friday Night Blitz. I'm Jill Jelnick. Hope to see you right back here at the same time next Saturday. Have a great night.